Save me. If there's a thing I've learned in life, facing your fears takes so much time. Your sad feelings don't never ignore. Release the pain, yeah, that's the cure. Cause if you think that you can ignore the
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video today we're going to be discussing pop stars that were supposed to take over but didn't really, okay? They were supposed to take over, really blow up, and their career didn't really pan out to be what we expected it to be based on their trajectory and our excitement for them. Okay, and I want to make a disclaimer and say that some of the people named in the list, actually I feel like all of them, it's not that they aren't successful. They have done amazing things, very influential things. Even if they didn't reach the peak that we expected them to, there's still so much that they have done. So this isn't to say that these people haven't done anything, that they're even failures, because to have a music career is a success in general. It's that hard and difficult. So for them to even make it this far is crazy. But this is more about seeing the trajectory of a person's pop career, of a person's career, and seeing it and thinking that it's gonna be this thing, but it actually doesn't end up being what we thought of. And I really wanted to make this video because there's so many artists in a specific era, in a specific decade. I would like to say it's like the 90s babies. A lot of these artists I felt like were supposed to be the next tier, like the next class of pop stars. And I feel like this era is really like, these group of people are really the people that just didn't really follow through. Okay, a lot of people say it's Gen Z, but actually it's this era right in between the like 80s millennials and Gen Z. Okay, it's like the 90s babies, this specific era. A lot of these artists are from this era, so we're gonna get into it. I'm sorry if I chose one of your faves, but I'm telling you it is not on purpose. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my single, guys. I'm a music artist too, so I definitely appreciate it if you check out my music. My music is on here on YouTube. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and it'll all pop up. You can also check it out on Spotify and Apple Music, okay, TikTok as well too. So definitely check out my music. I'd really appreciate the support. I have a new single out called Depression. So let me know how you guys like it. If you guys like it, I really love the support. And let's get back into the video. So we're here to discuss pop stars that were supposed to be really huge and didn't end up being what we thought. And some of them were huge, but the trajectory of their career kind of went left. And these are the artists we're going to talk about. So let's get into it. The first one I'm going to mention is Doja Cat. Okay, Doja Cat. Now Doja Cat was killing it. Okay, killing it during the late 2010s, 2020. COVID, post-COVID, she was killing it, taking it over. We declared her as pretty much the new pop girl. She killed the rap scene, but also started becoming the pop girl, okay? And fusing pop and rap and just really becoming this new girl that everyone felt like was gonna take over. Doja Cat, Doja Cat, Doja Cat. And while Doja Cat has done so many amazing things, especially with Planet Her, Doja Cat's relationship with her fans, oh my gosh, and her career, oh my gosh. The one thing is Doja Cat hated the pop star brand. She hated the pop star brand. She hated the expectations. She totally got rid of it, totally went against it with her image, doing very devilish images, cutting all her hair, being very anti, which is fine, but it did confuse the audience in terms of like her pop career and where it was going. And then not wanting to do pop music, cursing out her fans, getting into just these huge controversies. She really, stepped on her own foot. She really did. And I think she intentionally wanted to do it because, again, she didn't want those expectations of being a pop star, which is completely understandable. It is not built for everyone. But Doja Cat, we really saw her to be the thing. Like, she had everything, the perfect music videos. She had the fashion, the campy looks, the theatrics. She really had everything, perfect pop star package. But again, like that was too much for her. So this is an example of an artist who really had it, was doing it, and just kind of like threw it away because didn't want it. And I'm not saying Doja's nowhere. Doja has been doing amazing shows at Glastonbury, Coachella. She's been like killing it. I mean, she still has a huge fan base. She's been selling out her tour, her past tour. It's just that she is not going to be that pop girl the way we thought. She's always going to be doing her own thing. She's always going to want to do things alternatively. And she's not going to go in that cookie cutter route doing all the award shows and all that. Like, she's over that, you know. And I think it's made her, it's changed our relationship with her and what we expect for her, you know, as fans, what to expect from her, as the public. So Doja Cat's the first one, you know. We really thought she was gonna be that main pop girl, and she still kind of basically is, but not in this embracing sense, and not with the same momentum that she had before, because we felt like, you know, she was doing pop music and this is what she was doing. All the cursing and the controversy, cursing out her fans and the public, it kind of switched and changed everything. So she's the first example. The next big one is Normani. Okay, Normani, and I think she's like one of the biggest ones when it comes to this. Normani was projected to be the thing. She came in such a beautiful time where there wasn't a lot of dance and choreography, like almost non-existent. She had this pop sound with this amazing athletic choreography. She gave me Janet Jackson. People were projecting her to be the next Beyonce. Doesn't really matter. But she was supposed to be the next thing. Even before like the Dojas and all that, it was Normani. And it didn't go out that way at all. The issues with the label, shows being canceled, performances being canceled. I remember the Sam Smith and Normani thing was canceled. I mean, there's been, looking back at her career, it's been a struggle from the beginning. There's been so many obstacles in her solo career in the beginning. Projects not be coming out late, her parents' sickness, label issues, a switch of genre and style. She didn't even want to do pop music. She didn't really like Motivation that much. Completely changed. I think this is the most heartbreaking one. I think so, because to me, Normani is my type of pop star, like my favorite type. Athletic, dance, pop, R&B. But again, she didn't want that. And again, a pattern that I'm seeing here is a lot of these people don't want that. I feel like this generation, the 90s babies, I don't know, I feel like they just kind of just did not want to be this pop star. So many of them didn't want to do pop music. So many of them, it's a pattern that I'm seeing, but it's like they're projected to be something. They have all the potential and it just goes left. And with Normani's situation, you know, there's multiples. It's personal. It's how she thinks of herself as a solo artist. It's also business and the label. So this is another big upset, probably in my opinion, like the face of this, all of this, of this video, and the definition of like pop stars that were supposed to be huge that didn't end up going that route. The next one is Shawn Mendes. Okay, Shawn Mendes. Now, Shawn Mendes was having a very successful career in the 2010s and mid 2010s. Very successful album. Singles were hitting. I remember the era. I remember a lot of the younger girls were going crazy for Shawn Mendes. Like, he really was the new dude and was kind of being sought out to replace Justin Bieber. I remember they called him the Prince of Pop, and Justin Bieber and him had this kind of like back and forth, like fun, not like serious, but it was really Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes had it, like just like all these other artists, they had it. Everything was in their hands. And then started dating Camila. That made everything big. After Senorita, Shawn Mendes completely left the scene. He only put like music here and there. It seemed like he was struggling a lot with his mental health. He was struggling a lot with his identity, his sexuality, breaking up with Camila, the controversies between that, not putting out music, and then finally putting out music, and it wasn't really his hardest. It wasn't his best. Didn't really promote it too much, and couldn't even finish like a tour. Like, he can't even finish an era. He can't really successfully finish an era. He can't do a full run promo, tour, videos. Like, it's never an official era with Shawn, and he's really suffered. And then like the social media started getting on him, and talking about like his music and it's not exciting. So he really fell off. I really personally believe Shawn Mendes fell off because he couldn't handle the pressures of the industry and like fame, basically. And I also feel like he was trying to discover himself, and he had a lot of self-discovery to do and get comfortable with who he is. So again, he is another one that fell off. Really had it, stronghold. If he was consistent and didn't have like all those plummets and stuff like that, he would be like a mega huge star, like really owning the industry. You could be a star, you could be popular, but are you really running like the music industry? Are you really doing well in music? Yeah, you're doing well in popular and gossip, but are you doing well in music? And that's what I'm talking about. And Shawn Mendes, he's gone down, definitely. Coming right after Shawn Mendes is Camila Cabello. Okay, Camila Cabello, another Fifth Harmony girl. She was supposed to take over, and she was. When she came out and did her solo career, as messy as it was, her separating from the group, she was just successful. Havana was a huge hit, being played everywhere. She was doing mad performances, and you know, Camila's very ambitious, so she moves, and she was just doing her thing. Then her relationship with Shawn Mendes, that just sparked even more attention. Like, Camila was doing her thing, really like trying to be the #1 top girl, and she was doing her thing, and she's been putting out albums, and I remember an album that she put out that didn't do too well. It got a lot of promo, lots of singles out for it. It was Shameless. There was just so many singles, Senorita, so many singles for this album, but it didn't do so well. And I think because they pretty much half of the album was already heard because of all the singles. And the issues with Fifth Harmony and Normani, that kind of like also played a little bit with it, and people supporting her, you know, with the racial issues. I don't really think her music went bad or good. Like, I really don't think it went bad. I don't think she made bad music. I just think people stopped supporting her as much. I think she's lost the interest with the racial issues. A lot of that could have been that. Now, I don't think her music is bad, but she's definitely not at that level musically she was in the beginning of her career. So I think her reuniting actually with Fifth Harmony, even for Normani too, would be a good thing. But Camila Cabello is another one that was sought to see as a person who was going to take over, and even though she's had a very successful music career, it didn't pan out the way. There has been a plummeting in terms of her music and her popularity. Next up is Dua Lipa. Okay, Dua Lipa, another big huge pop star, taking over. Okay, when Futuristic Nostalgia came out, it just really took over with COVID. Really unique sound, and she was really projected to like be that girl. Got the Grammy for Best New Artist. Really was doing her thing. Like, she was doing her thing. She was making lots of improvements in her performances. When you compare her in the beginning of her career versus like now, so much better as a performer. Visuals getting better. She was really putting her all, really trying it. And then she put out her latest album, okay, and it didn't get the same attention as Futuristic Nostalgia, okay. People felt like it was a little bit more underwhelming. It had the same kind of sound. It wasn't a new sound from Futuristic Nostalgia. So it just didn't get the same attention. Now, Dua Lipa is still very successful. She's done amazing in UK too. Like, UK will always make her #1 regardless. So she's very loved there. And she's still popular here in US, but it just isn't the same. You know, she's definitely done a dive from her popularity from Futuristic Nostalgia to now. And, you know, I think it's mainly artistic wise. It's just the sound did not progress or change too much for Dua Lipa. So she did experience that little dip, and she again was taking over, like literally dominating. And again, she still dominates. She still sells out. Tours sold out. Like, she does really well. But she's not getting those #1 hits, those top 10 hits. She's not in the face front like she was before, back in the COVID days. So she did experience a plummet in her music success. her music sales and status. She did get lower, but she can always come back. And this is just another example of one of these artists. But I don't even feel like it's Dua Lipa's real fault, really. I just think musically they have to come with a different sound, because everything else is there. The visuals, the marketing, and her will to be a pop star is there. The sound needs to advance. Now, last but not least, and this is a controversial one because some people may not agree, but I'm gonna say Harry Styles, okay? And the reason why I say Harry Styles is because Harry Styles is incredibly successful, very popular. In fact, they ended up calling him the King of Pop, which was crazy work. But I feel like Harry Styles, definitely very successful, has done a lot. Very similar to Shawn Mendes too, but I feel like as he was getting to his peak, he kind of just went out. Like, I felt like if he did one more album after Harry's House, like one more album, then I feel like he would have really solidified his dominance in the music industry. He kind of left. He was doing very well, lots of top 10 hits and stuff like that. But I felt like not enough to be not enough to be comparing him to like Drake, especially not the King of Pop. That's crazy. But not enough to like put him on the level of like the Drakes, the Justin Biebers. Like, he could be. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Harry Styles is huge, super popular. But I just feel like legacy-wise, he hasn't done enough. I felt like he just needed one more iconic album moment. And he kind of stalled that. You know, there's a momentum that you feel, and I just feel like he needs one more iconic album, and he's been stalling to put that out. It's been stalling to put that out. So he's kind of lukewarm. You can't really say he's reached the heights. Like, he's reached the heights of popularity as a Justin Bieber, but musically, in terms of his work, his legacy in music, it's just still not enough work. It's still not enough music to put him on those levels with Drake and Kendrick and The Weeknd. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't, like, Harry is just as popular as him. Like, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that he hasn't put out enough work. He still needs, at least now that he's stalled, he needs like two more like iconic eras, or at least one more iconic era, just to solidify him. If he can come back and just do one more iconic era, I feel like that would solidify him. But I feel like he left at the peak of his heat. I just felt like he needed one more to kind of solidify, and I just feel like it hasn't been solidified yet. So yeah. So yes, those are the artists that I feel like were really supposed to be taking over, like on that Rihanna, Beyonce, Drake, like Kanye type of level, like really be all over the place for a long amount of time. And I felt like a lot of their careers were out and big, and then it kind of got smaller, and it's kind of fizzled more so down. Now, again, this does not mean that they're not successful. These people are still selling out tours. They're still selling music. I'm just saying they're not holding that iconic position that we projected and felt like they were supposed to. And it's so interesting because all the people I name, like Normani, Shawn Mendes, who all the people that I named? I'm forgetting all the people I named. Doja Cat, Camila Cabello. I felt like all of them are born around the 90s babies. So it's this specific era. It's like from like 90 to 98. Like, it's that specific era where just a lot of the pop stars who were supposed to be the main acts, like Dua Lipa, Doja Cat, Normani, it just didn't count. Like, this was like a flop era. Like the era after Gaga, Rihanna, and stuff like that. This like one in between, before the Gen Z, before Sabrina and Chaperone. This like in between with like Normani, Doja Cat, Shawn Mendes, Camila. That's the flop era. And I'm gonna make a video on that. But tell me what you think, okay? If you feel like these people didn't reach the potential that we projected to see them. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Also, don't forget to check out my music, because I'm a music artist too. And I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thanks for watching.